So welcome everybody to our Tips from the Top on Becoming a Top Seller training. I'm so excited about this. And if you're wondering how this training came about, it's from you guys. Everyone kept asking me, we'd really love to have some training on selling, for some fresh ideas. And Shelli's name kept kind of coming up. For those of you who don't know, Shelli Lindsley, she's joining us from California, and she's joining us, and also Cecilia Morales. And I love it because they kind of two different worlds. Like Shelli, this is her full-time business. And Cecilia, this is kind of her part-time gig because she's got a full-time job, but you would think it was full-time for her as well as she's doing with the business. But, they're here to teach you how to be a top seller. So, it's not you can just sit back and it's going to happen, right, Shelli? That's not how it works. It's what you put in it, like anything else, right? The work that you put in it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So Shelli's worked really hard to get where she is. She's having fun doing it, but that doesn't mean that there's not work involved. And so that's what she's going to be sharing. But we're also going to be sharing, and I told the ladies when we were going through our rehearsals that we probably should have broke this up into 2 trainings because there's so much to share, and we can always do another one down the road. But we're going to be sharing, we're going to start with Shelli, and she's going to share some tips on how she is where she is. And then we're going to pass it over to Cecilia, and she's going to share about her main way that she sells is through vendor events, but also Shelli does that as well. So they're both going to kind of share some tips and tricks about events. We're going to share some beautiful setups and different things towards the end as well. So you're going to get a lot of different meat in this training. So I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about Shelli because I really appreciate her joining. I've known Shelli for I don't know how many years now I've known Shelli, but she was with my previous company as well. And, Shelli is an empty nester like me. She has her cats, lots and lots of cats, and her husband, Gary. So this is her full-time gig. And just so you know, I kind of did a little looking back just in the past year. Shelli joined us on 3/20 of 20. Kind of neat, huh? 3/20/2020. And so just over a year that she's been here, not even quite a year. Are we at a year? What's today's date?
Yeah,
well, just past her anniversary. Yeah. So, Shelli, again, being here just over a year, I made some notes here because I want to make sure I got this right. So out of the last 12 months, Shelli has been the top 5 in sales. Okay, did you hear that? Top 5 in sales. And out of that 12, she was number 1 6 times. Yay. 6 times out of those 12 months, she was number 1. So that's why she's on this call, because she's doing the right things. And I know she's always learning new things every day of how to do things more and get out there more. But Shelli is doing phenomenal things. And so I wanted to hand it off to Shelli to start us off with our training. But I wanted you to know a little bit about her too. I know you said you have 2 kids, right, Shelli?
I do.
Would you say 30 and how old is the other?
28. 30 and 28.
28. Funny, same ages as mine. So how about that? So I wanted to welcome you. I want to see if there's anyone else here that needs to be added in. I think we're good. Okay. So Shelli, you're just gonna pinch me over long distance when you need the next slide. And this is Cecilia. I wanted to see them here, see their pretty faces. All right. So kick it off, Shelli. We're so excited to hear about, and let them know too, we are going to have a Q&A at the end. So feel free to put your questions in the chat and we'll try and answer as many as we can at the end. And know that we will have some slides that share some of the things that they use so that you know where to get them. So that will answer some of your questions, but just know we will have that at the end as well. So, all right, Shelli, take it away. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to say thank you to Kim for having us and having me, and for everything that you do for us. It's just amazing. And again, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Shelli, and I'm from Chino, California, and I'm super excited to be here. So thanks for having me. I just want to ask you what chapter you're in. I know that's probably kind of a funny thing to start off with, but I look at things as we all start in chapter 1. I started in chapter 1. And you might be in chapter 1 or you might be in chapter 10 of your business. But doesn't matter where you're at in your chapter, whether you're in chapter 1 or chapter 10. What I want to let you know is that we all start at the beginning. And I just also want to make sure to say, because I always have to tell myself this, is whether you're whatever chapter you're in, don't compare yourself to somebody else's chapter. Again, you know what, let me turn my volume down on my phone. Sorry. My thing. But what I wanted to let you know too, you can go ahead and switch, Kim, is one thing that when we look at things, when we look at success, a lot of times is we see in the iceberg, we see the top where it's all up there where it says iceberg. Success is an iceberg. A lot of times people see success and we see just all the, yay, it's so cool. And we get all the fruits and we see that. Like, for example, like how she just said that I was on the top of the list, but what people don't see and what we always, I think we forget is, and I do anyways, sometimes is all the things underneath where it's the dark blue, the persistence, the failure, I'm going to say that again, the failure, the sacrifice, all the no's that we get, the disappointments, but on the flip side, also people don't see what the good habits are, the hard work that we have, the dedication. And in that, a lot of times what happens and what I have found is that if we stop sometimes, we just give up. So I'm here just to kind of move along and say, you know what, Kim asked me if I would share some of my tips of what I do and along the way. So some of the things that I want to start out and say, here's what I do. The first thing that you want to do, you can go ahead and move that one over, Kim, is first thing is you want to do is be positive. And one of the things that I like to do that I start my day off with is every day is be positive. Start your day with heading over to the Bella Builders page because you want to you want to feed your mind with knowledge. And a lot of times, and what I love about our Bella Builders page is that we have so many of you out here are so creative. I get a lot of ideas and things that I do from all of you from the Bella Builders page. And then on top of it, like you can find out and you can be in the know if there's a company announcement, what's going on, all those cute videos that Bob does, you know, and stuff like that. So it makes me happy because I start off there and then I get into my candle world. And it's just like, it's fun because also I learn from all of you guys as well. But the first thing I do, so you be positive. The next thing that I like to do is I want to set my my goal. And one of the things is I will say I've been selling candles for over 16 or 17 years. Until I came to Mia Bella's a year ago, I never wrote down my goals. For me, game changer. I'm which I highly recommend. If you don't write down your goals right now, I would recommend starting it. And the one thing that I did for me is when you write your goals down, it totally has helped me stay focused, stay on track. And it gives me something to work towards because also a lot of times when you write down your goal, you see it in front of you. What I did, and the reason I started doing that is because Kim had asked us, and she did like on her trainings before, it's like, hey, can you send me your goals? And I mean, to all of us in the field. So I was like, so, and I'm a rule follower. So I did. And so it really works. It's funny because my husband, side notes, always try to have me write things down, but I never did until this last year. But I will say when you write down your goals, if you're like, where do I start? What do I do? And what I love about this company is we have so many things. Again, in the builders page is we have the Strive for 5. So you have the Strive for 5, and then so right away, and I'm here to talk about sales. So on here, Strive for 5 is strive for $500. So right there's a goal for you to strive for $500. You break it down. There's your month. You break it down into what you need a day. But also we have the seller's circle. So then if you want the seller's circle, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about what happened with first quarter, because in first quarter, I did earn the level of platinum, and I did the 6,000 and a little over that. But what I did is I looked at that and I went, okay, I have 3 months. That means $2,000 a month. That means how many candles a day? And I got to work. So had I not done that, I don't know, I have to follow something, and that to me has changed, and again, totally changed the way I do my business. What I did then too is for the next month is for second quarter is that we have, because of course the numbers are a little bit different for obvious reasons, because as the season goes on, more people purchase. But also, let's look at the brass level. So you're sitting there going, we're in $1,200 for brass level. We have 3 months, you guys, 3 months to do that. And so you break it down, and that's only $400 a month. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, only, that's a lot. So, but it's all in the mindset. Again, be positive, know that you're going to do it, because that's half the battle. If you know you're going to do it and you strive for it, you can do it. But the beauty of it is, even though it's only $400, we've already talked a little bit about strive for five. So your mind's already set for 500. Now you have that little cushion. And the thing that's great about it is, remember, you don't have to do it every single month. You can do 800 in 1 month, and you could do a couple hundred in the next. It's all cumulative. But the beauty of the whole thing of it is, you're like going, I don't know if I can do that. But again, think that you can. You never know when you're going to get a fundraiser. The fundraiser could right there and blow you past the 7,500. And I think that's sometimes where we get caught up in, is we think we can't do it. And I'm here to tell you, you can do it. And that's, you need to just, again, that's what's helped me, is that I've really changed my mind and set my goals. And sometimes I set the goal and I'm like, oh gosh, what did I make it so high for? And I get a little anxiety and I panic a little, but you know what? It all works out. And that is another way in your mind that tells me, okay, I said that I was going to do it. I sent my goal to Kim, and I'm sure Kim would love it if you sent her your goals and whatnot. But then you have somebody to be accountable to, and it's something that helps you. At least that's what really helped me. The other thing that I think that is great that we have in this company is we have the director circle. So if you really want to get promoted, you want to grow a team, you want to grow a team, write that down. This is a great thing right here. And then, so we have that, and that would totally help you too. And then, what I do, because you're like, okay, we know about the director circle, we know about sales circle, get to what you actually do. So one of the things that I like to say, and what I do, is plant the seed. This is the biggest tip, that one of the biggest tips I can give you is plant the seeds no matter where you go. As my husband would tell you, I have 24/7 candle brain. And it's like, I'm always thinking, who needs a candle? Who can I help get a good clean burn candle in their home? When I say plant the seeds, is what I'm talking about is post on social media, put out your Mia melts, sharing everywhere you go. The other thing with nowadays, a lot of people are kind of a little nervous about the Mia melts, but the world's reopening back up. So don't worry about that. We're going to have things changing on there. But also, when you plant the seeds, is don't overwater. Well, first of all, let me back up. You need to water, but then don't overwater. And what I mean by that is sometimes, and I'll use myself as an example. With my previous company, one time I posted candles, 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 candles. I went back later and looked at my feed, and all it was look like I was an advertisement board. And social media is all about you, and obviously not you building relationships. Your friends want to see what you're doing. They don't want to see how much a candle is every single day, 5 times a day. So that to me would be overwatering. Or if you're texting somebody and they're not responding, and on the 10th one, you're like, why aren't they responding? They're like, oh my gosh. So again, that would be overwatering. So again, just plant your seeds. And the next thing I wanted to share really is, sometimes we get caught up in our own self and we don't get out of our comfort zone. So I'm here to tell you, get out of your comfort zone. for me talking to you guys right now, this is getting out of my comfort zone. And so if I can do it, you guys can do it. When Kim asks you something, you do it. And so it's like whether it's your comfort zone or not. But also one thing when I also getting out of your comfort zone is doing, because you're like, well, how do you get sales? Okay, so I do online events. So I sell a lot online. And then I do vendor events. I have my VIP page, and on my VIP page is one of the things that what is huge on my VIP page is these are your candle people. If you don't, and I'm saying page, and I mean to say group, if you don't have a VIP group, I highly recommend getting it because they are your VIP people. They are your candle people. And one of the things that where I've gotten a lot of success in is the squares. You can post all the time, but even like how we have the picture there, but I don't know if you can see me, but I just started this like I think at 3 o'clock today, and it's already almost full. And that's $100. There's $100 in sales right there. So I do a lot of candle pulls. I do the which I love is that new 50 jar it's a tongue twister for me. The 50 jar challenge. At first when I saw that and when Matt made that and shared it on the page, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't do that. That was my first instinct. And I bet it was all of your guys's too. But I thought, okay, I start seeing people talking about it. So I posted that on my VIP page again, group. And then I sold 50 plus in 2 days. So, and I don't have a lot of people in there. I have like 300 people. So that's, you have to start somewhere, even if you have 10 and then you add. So that's kind of where I found that success is the 50 jar. If you are in the melts business, I don't do a lot of melts. I do, but you can do the melt challenge as well on there. The other thing that I want to share about is if you're like going, I don't know what to do or anything, and you don't have a VIP group right now, is we have the Power Hour. And the Power Hour is amazing. This again is going to be in the Bella Builders page. I actually, as you can tell, it's in a little plastic thing. I have this on my desk 24/7, or in my fingertips, I should say. If you don't know what you are going to do, this right here will tell you and give you such great ideas. And sometimes we shy away because we see the hour and you're like, I don't have an hour. It's broke down into 15 minutes. Take whatever category you like and pull from that. And that's one of the things that half the battle is knowing what to do. And especially if you're like working and you work 40 hours a week, this is like wonderful because you can just like in your lunch break, whenever you're all the nooks and the crannies, you can find like those 15-minute little increments. The other thing that I've learned over this past year is to be consistent. That is like one of the other things is I have found in this business, and that has sustained me through some life issue things that had happened at the beginning of the year. I was consistent in my VIP page or my group. So because of that, it held me through some other things that were going on. And that's the beauty of this business. So, but if you're consistent in it, it keeps you going and whatnot. So what I'm going to ask you and what I challenge you is to be consistent, is do something daily that's going to grow your business. And I learned as well, doing something to grow your business versus, and that's a lot of these things on the Power Hour, is versus doing something that is going to just doing something for your business. Because one of the things I learned is if you're just doing something for your business, that could be filing, that could be pushing papers around on your desk and you think you're doing something. But I challenge you to do something different. If you're like sitting there going, I don't know what I would do, this next slide is going to show you that you can totally text this picture out right here. This right here to me says volumes. You don't even have to know what to say, but post that picture and say, hey, Susie, I don't know if you know, but I started selling, palm wax candles, and here you are, or whatever wording you want to use, because I don't know which chapter you're in. If you're in chapter 10, you might be recreating your business. But the key is to be consistent. The other thing that I would recommend back onto the VIP group is what I do is to make sure you post daily on there. The beauty of having a group as well is you can schedule your post and you can ask questions, be interactive. I'm super active on there. And you got to do lives, and that's where you can go on and be practice and get comfortable in doing that. The other thing, okay, we have this right here. And then one thing I would say too on social media, and of course, I'm talking mostly Facebook, is on your own Facebook page is sprinkle Mia Bella on there. Because if you sprinkle it on there, what you want to do is you want to gear people to go over to your VIP page, because those are your candle peeps. That's what I like to say. The other thing is a lot of times people go, oh, I'm so nervous, I can't sell. And what all this is a candle. It's like a candle. So I'm here to say, share, don't sell. And one of the things is, because if you think about it, when we are talking about a candle, this is our passion. We all love it because we're all here. This is what we love. So it's the same way if you look at it, your favorite restaurant, or you're sharing, hey, Susie, go over here to this restaurant or go to this clothing store. It's the same thing. The only difference is you're getting paid to do it. And what I love about it is, so don't get caught up in, I can't sell. I'm not a salesperson. And really, it's all again in the mind. Change your mind to the candle. The other thing is to always, another way to share and not sell is advertise. Just like I have this shirt on. I guess I should, a Mia Bella's shirt, a hat. I'm all hairs. I didn't even realize you couldn't see my shirt. But it's the same thing. If you have pins with Mia Bella on it, I have like a card keychain that is that right there. A lot of times will do your sharing, but just don't get it caught up in your head of that you're not a salesperson, because you know what? I'm not a salesperson either, but I like to talk. And trust me, I have to wean this down to just my part. I could talk the whole hour. But the other thing is that I like to look at customers as building relationships, not customers. Because one of the tips I'd give you on this is, over the years, what I've done, especially this last year, because I have a lot of new people, because palm wax is just like new here. Well, new to me. I know a lot of you have been selling it for a long time, but the one thing is our customers become our friends. And sometimes our customers, because I've got a lot of online people. I even have a lot of girls that join my team from those online events, but now they're becoming my friends. And one way that you can do that, because I'm older, obviously I have a 30-year-old and a 28-year-old, so my mind's not like super keen, but take notes. So like when you sell a candle and you do whatever, write notes about that person. If they have a child playing something, whether they have a sick mom or whatever it is, make that note and make that connection. So your customers really become your friends. And the other thing is, sometimes, like, another tip I would give you is, don't only message them to get a sale, message them to ask them about whatever it is that you jotted down about them. And one of the next thing I wanted to share with you is, follow up is your best friend. I will say this has been a game changer since I came to Mia Bella. When I was with my previous company, honestly, I never did follow up. I always wanted to do follow up, but there were so many different ways to do it. I froze, because there was like this way, I could do this way. There's like 5 or 6 ways I knew how to do follow up, but I didn't pull the trigger on any of it because I didn't know what to do. So when I came here to Mia Bella's, I thought, you know what, I am going to do follow up. So what I do, and the way I do it, first of all, I guess I should say, find the system that works best for you. And what I have found that's worked best for me this last year, we all have our phones with us pretty much all the time. We all have a calendar on our phone. So for me, my system is that I do the 2x2. And what that means is, when I make a sale in 2 weeks, right away, when I make the sale, right away, I go into my calendar. In 2 weeks, I write their name down. And in 2 months, I write their name down again, depending on how detailed you want to get. Sometimes I'll write the candle, sometimes I don't. So that way I don't have to look up or try to remember what they purchased. But in 2 weeks, I contact them. I'm not asking for a sale. I'm just asking, hey, Susie, how do you like your Bugs No More candle? And make conversation. Sometimes you'll be surprised, in 2 weeks, they're going to buy more and you'll be blown away. the second thing that I do is in 2 months, then I'm going to contact them again. Again, I'm not asking for a sale, even though you know that's what you really want because you're working your business, but you're also building relationships. And sometimes you may not get a sale, but I'm going to tell you 99% of the time, I'm getting a sale. And I'm not asking for it, but I'm getting it. And if you're not sure what to say, because you don't want to make, oh, it's been 2 months, I don't want to just ask for that sale again. You say, hey, you know what? We have all these wonderful new fragrances. Pick one that you really like that you think they might like. Like we've had, that come out that aren't in the catalog, or even how we have all the cute labels. Maybe take a picture and shoot them a text. It's really simple, but I think we get ourselves caught up and we overthink it. At least I have. So I hope my tips have helped you. So my key ones would be like, be consistent, always be positive, start your day if you can, in the Bella Builders page, and then being consistent, doing your follow-up, and yeah. So thank you. And then I did find this because I sent this to Kim because I really feel like sometimes, and I'm the same way, it's like we want instant. We live in it, at least especially in Southern California, we live in a microwave society. We want instant success, but there's no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. And I think the one thing I didn't say in there that I forgot somewhere in there along the line is be prepared for all the no's, because I forgot about that. We had the no challenge in there too. And know that you're going to fail. But if you stay right where you're at, you're never going to move forward. So I hope my tips helped you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shelli. Yeah, I love that because, the no's, it's a positive, right? A no, you can't take it as a negative because eventually you're going to get enough no's that there's going to be a yes. And those no's could turn into a yes down the road. And like you said, starting at your chapter, I mean, you may not be at obviously where Shelli is. We want you all there. Obviously, would love to have you all where Shelli is, but even if it's a candle a day, write down your goals. And I'd love for you guys to send me your goals because I love checking in on people and seeing how you're doing. And if you need help, I'm here to help you. And so that's what the Bella Builder group too is, a huge resource for you guys to reach out to each other and share your ideas and images and things like that for people who I don't know how to do all these images. I try and do all that work for you guys. I put all those resources out there for you. So you just have to take it, steal whatever you want and use it. That's what it's for, to help you grow your business. And Shelli's done a great job of implementing all of these things into her business to help it grow. So I really appreciate your time. And you're not done tonight, but just done with this part. So, but thank you so much. Because our next guest, we're going to go back to this, create successful events. So we talked a little bit about that. And we're going to focus tonight on vendor events, because I know we've had a lot of questions about that too, of how to get started. Really it's, we talked about getting out of your comfort zone. People like, I don't even know where to start and I'm scared to do it. So we're going to share some great ideas of how to just get started and some great tips. So Cecilia's here, and Cecilia, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
And,
hi, everybody.
And I'm so excited to have Cecilia because, you're a busy lady. She's got 2 girls, she's got a stepdaughter as well, and a grandbaby. If you can believe that, look at her. And, I know your daughter's in softball, and
Yes.
you're just crazy, crazy busy. But here's a little fun fact too about Cecilia is, on the average for the past year for Cecilia, she's been in the top 25 in sales. So that is very impressive. And what I thought was kind of funny today, I was looking up sales today because, I do some recognition tomorrow during our Friday Live, is the number right now, Shelli is currently in 6th and you are in 7th in sales. Wow. So look at that, ladies. Neck and neck, you two. So I thought that was kind of fun to do that. So thanks so much for joining us. I know how very busy you are, but I'm so excited that you joined us today to kick us off about talking about how you do vendor events.
Hi, everybody.
And I have lots of pictures that she shared too.
So I started doing I'm sorry, guys, my little baby's barking. Can you grab her, please? I started doing vendor events probably in 2019, I want to say. And it kind of just kicked off from there. I was trying to figure out a way to get our candles out there from our old company. And then kind of just went from there. And I met a lot of vendor family that kind of guided me on how to search for vendor events in the areas and which events, to try to get into. They're here in California. I'm the Inland Empire, but I'm also LA County raised. So in LA County, they have a lot of vendor events that happen once a month on a regular basis. So I started getting involved in those. And I found a spot at a Taco Tuesday restaurant that also helped my business. Some days were slow that I didn't sell anything, and some days were great. So that helped build my customer base as well. I stopped doing those 2 weeks ago just because I kind of got a little burnout and too much time away from my girls, and they kind of needed me to be home. So other than that, I started off with the small displays you can see there. Just kind of had like a runner and a few stands, and I would turn on the candles so that the aroma can kind of just drift everywhere. And it actually brought a lot of customers in, and they would say, "Oh, what are you burning? What scent are you burning?" So that's a good idea to do if you do any vendor events, is to burn 1 or 2 candles. I try to do scents that combined really well. Like I will do sometimes citrus fusion and melon margarita. But again, depending on the season, whatever candles are available, I kind of try to do pick from that group. And then this is another event I attended after, and I just had more candles. I started off with probably maybe 16 to 18 candles. And from there I went to 24. Then, when I go to different events, I'd look around and see all the displays on how, people set up their 10 by 10s. And I started doing more like, boards that had information, pricing. Then I started thinking, well, every time I would sell, I would try to have a variety of all the scents, but sometimes people would want 2 or 3 of one scent, and I only had 1. So then I started thinking, hey, I'm going to do this display where I actually got 2 shelves made like this. 2 shelves from a previous distributor. A distributor that previously did a lot of events that was trying to get rid of her shelves. Her name is Monica. And she asked me if I wanted to buy them. So I did. And I loved it, the way it looked. I was able to carry more candles. But at the beginning, I only used 1 shelf because I didn't have a lot of inventory. So I used the 1 shelf for a while. And then later on, I started saying, I need to get a bigger inventory. And it was hard at first because it does get, expensive. Then I just went ahead and started doing 3 shelves. And I got the idea of the Mia melts, the jars from Danielle, which I thought was amazing when I saw them, because I never wanted to carry melts just because it was more of an inventory to haul around. But they do so well. The way she displayed hers, I'm trying to burn every scent of the candle so I can have the label in front. But I found these jars that looked almost exactly like the candles at the Dollar Tree. It's like the 99-cent store. And it worked out perfect. So I just put the label of the candle scents in front of the jars, and people love it. I use tongs that I bought at the Dollar Tree as well. It was 4-pack for $1, and people use that.
Don't we all love those Dollar Trees?
Yes, it's amazing. And people use those to grab them. And I have little wax sandwich bags that I use to give them, and they can just throw their scents in there. I also bought like white handle bags. So if they're choosing different scents, if I have, enough time and there's nobody around, I'll write all the scents and the color of the melt they're buying, so they kind of remember what scent it was. So yeah, this is my display. I love it. I had 3 more shelves made, and I had a new banner made, the Live, Laugh, Love. I love that slogan. I have it all over my work office. I've had it for years. And I decided to label my Instagram and my face group page, Live, Laugh, Love Candles. And I've just stuck with that. And it's pretty a hit because people love that slogan too. And then they love the candles. So but yeah, that's my display here. This is an outdoor event. This was an indoor event that I went to, and it was at a dance studio, actually. They let us vend inside there, and it was raising money for the performances for the studio. So that was nice. And this is a tablecloth that I had from our old company. And one of my friends does shirts. So I asked them if they can put the Mia Bella's logos on the opposite side, and it worked perfect. So I used that. So I used that for my table display when I'm indoors, because I don't have my, room for my banner with my Easy Up. And then sometimes, I'll display it on my Easy Up as well, so they know what kind of candles they are and the company I'm with. And I have little display signs up there too that show, the cost of the Mia melts, and some liners that I've actually got on Amazon that are amazing. They're reusable for the melt, so it's an easy cleanup. The tablecloths too, you guys, those are stretch tablecloths that you can buy on Amazon that are great, because if you do outdoor events and the wind picks up, I just used to hate when the tablecloths would blow over. Sometimes they would knock down my signs. So I would invest in those. They're pretty awesome. They come in 4 foot, 6 foot, and 8 foot. And they're pretty durable. I haven't had to replace any of them yet. And it's been a while since I've had them. So I just throw them in the washer once in a while. And yeah, that's pretty much my display for my events. This is what I put up for the candles. This is what I sell them for. I know some of you guys sell them for a little cheaper, and I was kind of thinking, man, maybe my prices are a little too high, but they do sell. So I sell them for $25 each, 2 for $45 or 3 for $65. Once in a while, I'll just tell them, hey, if you want to get 2 or more, they'll be 20 each. So, it just depends on the day and how it's going. And if it's towards the end of my vendor event time, then I'll just throw them out there for $20 if, I see them looking, but kind of hesitant on buying one. And that kind of gets them to purchase a candle as well. And then this is a sign I have for my Mia melts. I sell them for $1.25 each, and the 12-pack for $15. And the reusable warmer liners, I sell them for 30 cents. Sometimes I throw them in there for them too. If they buy, 15 or 10, I'll just throw a liner in there for them, and they get all excited and happy. So, and that's the picture that I got from Danielle. So that's what gave me the idea to do the jars. So I was so excited to see that. That was an awesome idea that she shared with us. And I go on there and I look at everybody's postings too, and I grab from here and there, and I think about, oh, that's awesome. So thank you guys for posting all your ideas up there. And this is the warmer with the reusable liner. I kind of showed how easy it is for them to just pop it out and reuse it. They can do the scent, they can switch scents every day. So people like that idea.
Even makes it a cute little shape too.
It does. It makes a cute little shape. Looks like a sun, kind of. And these I shared it with Kim, so you guys can see where I got them on Amazon. They're very inexpensive. The customers love them. Like I said, sometimes I just throw in the liners in there for free. I got white and black. It's just most common colors, but they have all different types. They have polka dotted ones. They have pink, purple, all kinds of different colors. Those are the sandwich bags, the wax sandwich bags that I bought for them to put the Mia melts in. And then I just bought those little white handles. These guys are great for night events. They're USB.
I love these.
Yes, LED lights. I use 2 strands for my 10 by 10, and they light up amazing. I don't know if a lot of you have Costco around, but there's a strand that kind of looks like this at Costco for $50, and it does cover the whole 10 by 10, but they're not as bright as these. It's kind of crazy, but these are pretty bright. I really like them. And then I always light up my Bugs No More candle when I'm at night events for the mosquitoes. But this is a great purchase, you guys. I recommend these lights for any night events, and they use a regular phone charger USB that they can last. I mean, it depends. If you have like a heavy duty phone charger, it'll probably work for 2 to 3 hours. So it's pretty great.
Well, Cecilia, I see all these different events, and I think some of them were at your home, right? Just right out in your front yard, set up, and you sell. But how do you get your vendors events? How do you get those invitations? How does that work?
I do. I work a lot through Instagram. Instagram's my favorite. I'm not too Facebook friendly. I don't really know how to use Facebook too well, but Instagram, it's a whole big world out there for vendors. A lot of vendors are on Instagram. You become familiar with people who do events, who host events, and basically, you follow everybody, and everybody follows you back. And once you get out there, it takes a while. It took me a while to get known. Like I said, it's more of a personality. I talk to everybody. I'm a really humble person and kind, and I just I get along with a lot of people. So when I come across different vendors I don't know, I always introduce myself. And most of the time they kind of just like, hey, if you're interested, I'm having an event this weekend, and if you're available, kind of thing. Or hey, follow me on Instagram, I host events. So basically on Instagram is where I see a lot of the events. And now that I've been doing them for so long, I kind of know which ones that I would like to attend, just because of the area, or it's so close to my home. It's convenient for me to go to those. I like to do LA County once in a while, San Bernardino County. I live in Riverside County. But usually it's just basically people posting. They post that they need vendors, that they're hosting an event, and then you kind of just, hey, I'm interested. This is what I sell. This is my name. If you have any, spots open, let me know. And then from there, it kind of just, they'll give you the information, and then you just go from there. So yeah, so if you guys are not on Instagram, I would suggest you guys get an Instagram page, start making one for your candles, and you can go from there.
Right. And I know we'll probably have more questions at the end. I'm sure people have some more. I even have more for you, but I'll let Shelli show her thing, and then we'll get back together at the end and see if people have more questions. But thank you so much for sharing, and hang in there, because I know they're not done with you yet.
Okay.
We're going to welcome Shelli back, because Shelli also does a lot of vendor events, and not only in person, but also online, right? Shelli, you do it a couple different ways that you do events.
I do. I like both ways. I've always done the vendor events in person over the years. Like this picture here is one from my home. And one of the things that, if you're like, to kind of bounce off what Kim was just asking with Cecilia, is if you're like, oh, I don't know how to do it, where to get it, the best place to do it is to start it in your home. And that's what I've done, is you start them in there. But also one thing that's great is that I am doing a lot of vendor ones online. And again, it's kind of the same way. It's just once you find them, and then it kind of snowballs. But with my vendor events, if you want to go the next one, Kim, on there, is that it's fun. Of course, this was in the fall, and this was kind of more at the beginning. It was kind of October-ish. So everyone had to wear a mask, and we were honoring that. That's in somebody's backyard. And then what I love is that this one, it was so funny. This one is in Chino, and if you don't know, we're in cow country, and this is actually in the middle of you can tell if you know horses and whatnot, the inside. But we definitely had the bugs going. And then it's just the fun. It was around October. So I like to make kind of themed type things and just play off it. My husband goes with me all the time. He's helps me set up and whatnot. That's the same one, just without me being there. I like to take at the beginning, I normally, like a lot of you'll see where they're all together. I've always done that, but because of COVID, I separated them. Like you can tell the color coordinating with fall, and the red was all Christmas, and then on the back side where the white one is, you can't really see, but that was all my fruits and everything else. So it kind of made, people separate. So sometimes it's like we don't we might sometimes not want to be like go out and whatnot, but you can always make it work. If you really want to do it, you can make it work. And then this is another thing that I actually take. I guess that would be like one of my little fruits things, but I take that little white tear thing, and as you can see, at this time, I mostly only had bamboo and water mint soaps, but I take soaps to all my vendor events. That is one of my top sellers at my events. And I sell them. I do lose, I don't make the full commission. I sell them at the events for $10. But I also throw in, like on some of them, there was from the Dollar Tree store. I bagged them, made them cute before Christmas, but people were gobbling those up. And the best part about that is you're getting them into their hands, and then they're repeat customers, because as we all know how well we love the the Bella bars. It's like, so I recommend doing that if you do go out or whatnot. But of course, the next time I'll have all 3 fragrances. And then on my things, what I like to do is, and this was a Christmas event, but basically what I like to do as well is I always like to get there early. My husband goes, "Oh my gosh, you have to be the first person. We have to wait." And I'm like, I know, but it gives me time to go support other vendors, do a little shopping. But at the same time, I'm dropping off my business card to all those vendors and getting to know them. And that way we have that connection, because as you guys know, when you're at a vendor event, it can like snowball. Once it starts, it's like you can't leave your table. But then there's other times that you can. But the beauty of what I've learned, and one of my tips at the vendor events, and kind of what Cecilia said too, is we go there expecting, of course we want to sell and whatnot, and we're expecting to hopefully sell our candles. But the one thing that you want to do the most and get is contacts, and get those contacts. And that's my husband. He comes with me all the time. And so what we want to do as well is I sell for a little bit kind of similar, a little different, but at events, I have the same thing, 1 for 25, 2 for 45, and then I do 3 or more for 20. But people buy at the events for these prices, and the same thing. So it's like a set thing, because they do. And I will say most people walk away with 3 candles. And then also this one was one in the fall. What I did is I just had the bamboo there, but at the bottom, I don't know if you noticed that I have another sign too, where it's the Venmo, because everybody is paying Venmo or Zelle, but mostly Venmo. So all they have to do is come up to my booth when they're paying, and they just screenshot that. And it goes right to my Venmo. So I'm not like so busy telling them where to go, what to do, because I've gone that route. And most of the time I'm trying to figure it out myself, because I'm not super savvy with that. So it works perfect. In some events, I take the little $10, the littler one. So, and then the other thing that we got is, again, following up is key with all the people. So at a vendor event, what I like to do is do our contacts. And one of the things is that, and this is actually from Jody Zavala. And what is great,
I borrowed it from her meeting.
Yes, this is some of our training, because I am on her team, and a lot of the tips I got are from her. But basically, when you're at an event, these are some of the things. Is a lot of times you want to do a contact card, but if you don't want to, a lot of people don't want to write with the pins and touching and whatnot. So, but we still want their information. So you can tell them your website, or you can have them, fill it out, go and do the free drawing. Cause now they're not only doing that for the company, but have something, maybe it's a candle, maybe it's a basket, whatever you want to do for a raffle on your own, give them a business card, all that. You can have it. I don't really hand my phone out, but you can have them do it right there on their phone. Or the next best thing that we just had training on is a QR code. And the thing of it is, it's so cool. This is the thing. I'm sure Kim will post it, but even like right here, I think she'll probably do the codes, but on my phone is my QR code. So basically, and I want to back up as well, not over like this one's Jody's and whatnot, but you have this on your phone. So this will take somebody right to wherever you design it. So mine and most of them will go right to on my website. So as I'm doing my planting my seeds or at a vendor event, all I have to do is say, here, just do this. And people will scan that and it takes them right to my website. So now we don't have to do any touching. I don't have to give them my business card because of course here, I'm sure, unfortunately in California, we're still like on lockdown pretty much. But so this is a good way for people we have those contacts without touching and whatnot.
Well, and I love too, Shelli, because I know when I first started seeing these, because I always thought, well, QR codes were kind of out. And then all of a sudden, when we went through the pandemic, even you go to restaurants and they're like, we don't have a menu, but you just take a picture of this and there's the menu. And now it's like, great, now we're right on, we're right on track with everybody, right? But I wanted to post this again too, because this is free. Jody did some research on this, and this is a free tool for you guys to use. There, obviously, there's always the things where you can upgrade if you want to get more analytics and things on who's, clicking on things and where they're going, that type of thing. But and you can have as many as you want. So, like Shelli said, you could do one code and have it go to the drawing on your webpage. So it takes them right to that spot where they enter the drawing, and you're getting their information right there. You could have it go to a certain page on your website. Whatever you want to do, you could have more than one if you choose to. And I wanted to show, Shelli, that if you guys post it, I consider it mine, kind of. So if you guys post it out there, I love to share it and use it. So, you saw Jody's, you saw Shelli's, and you can be creative. You can brand this however you want. I went out there and I took pictures of everybody that put them out there. There's quite a few I'm going to share. So you see Delia Carpenter's, she actually put them on their name tags so that all people had to do was take a picture of the name tag and it would take them right to their website. So I thought that was so creative. And then you have Jennifer Kruger's code. Look at Jesse Fraser's. Jesse, you're going to see his setup a little bit later, but he's always so creative. Look at Jesse's, so much fun. And then you have Parker Gewurtzman's code that he set up, and Callie Elder's. And they're all, similar but different, their own little style on it. We have Jamie's on there and Heather Perkins. And then Jasmine and Beth and Sana's. Look at how cute that is. She put a candle on hers. How cute is that? And then we have Lori's and Darlene's also. I love the black and white, especially if you're going to print them. Black and white might be a good idea. And I actually have a couple different colored logos that I can put out there for you if you want black and white or white. If you don't want color on yours, I can get those out in the builder group too. But just some fun ideas. But I not only wanted to share that, I also wanted to share because there's a lot of people that have been posting their setups. And what I've been noticing too is height seems to be very important. Is that right, ladies? That, even if you get some shoe boxes and put them on there, just something to get things up to catch people's attention so everything's not flat. I'm noticing that people are doing. So I wanted to share a couple that have put them out there. So here's Isabel's. Look at how cute her is. This is my first pop-up, and she posted that in the Beller group. And you can see, very simple. She has this cute little wooden box, and it's very simple but elegant display, and it's so pretty. So that was, I think she said that was her first pop-up. So that's a great look. And I'm covering up my names here. So here we have Joanne is doing that. Looks like it's right in her front yard. Has a little pop-up right there in her front yard. And look at this one. That's a pretty one. Jen Sheets. She's got a bunch of candles, but you can see the pattern there where everyone has, they have some sort of riser to get those candles up. And hand sanitizer. I'm noticing everybody has hand sanitizers too, which is great. And another thing I wanted to remind you guys too is, you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is a big investment. Anything you do for your business is a write-off, guys. If you have to buy any signage, you're buying tables, you're buying displays, whatever it is, keep track of it for your accounting at the end of the year because it's all a write-off for your business. Your mileage to and from these events, a write-off. All of these things, keep that in mind. You guys are business people now. This is your own business. So keep that in mind and keep track of your receipts, keep track of your mileage. There's nice little apps on your phone that'll track your mileage for you. If you're not good at writing things down right away, you can always go back to your app and it tracks it for you. So all kinds of things that, you know, when you look at it, I know initially there is an investment for these things, but don't forget that you can write it off. So, so this is Liliana. She had a couple in here that I wanted to share. You see all their beautiful signs that they have. Beautiful displays. Look at her pretty Mia Bella sign. Again, there's that hand sanitizer, and I love that she has that picture there too of the comparison of the candles and that clean burning. It's a great thing to have out there on your tables. Let's see what else. I think these are all Liliana. She does her melts in her bags. A lot of people do them with the bags and have little display racks, which are fantastic. You know, and Shelli, you talked about doing it by category. Some people do them by color because their eye goes to the color. So it's whatever works for you. And it's going to take time to play with it and see what you get your best results. And here's Margaret McGinty's that she shared. I think she has a couple in here too. There's her husband. They're sneaking. He's always her best helper. Look at that. And then we have Val Shope here too, posted hers. And you see everyone's doing something a little bit different, but they're also pretty, but they're very clean. They keep their space clean and organized. And I think this was like a wedding expo, I think, if I remember. Whoops, I went too fast. If I remember for this one. I'm trying to move so I can read who this is. Sorry, Deb Hunt. So this was, you know, simple but elegant, very nice. And again, just a little bit of step risers for her candles. And here's that creative Jesse that I was talking about. So Jesse did with his sister-in-law, Wendy, they just did an event and posted all their pictures. So I saved his, not as the best for last, but his are always very, very impressive. So I wanted you guys to see what he put out there. But, and his went day to night. And I guess the ladies were saying in California, they don't get these big of setups. There's space for when they go into these vendor events, but Jesse had a lot of space to spread out. And I love this. Those are like shoe organizers that he's using for his melts. I thought that was cute. And he has a really cute light up sign that he uses. So I'll go through his because he's got several here, but he just has a gorgeous display, you know, and it doesn't have to be this elaborate, but have fun with it. I mean, our candles are so beautiful. I mean, they add to, you don't have to do much more decor than just put the candles out there because they're so pretty. And there's Jesse and Wendy right there. So just beautiful. And there's that sign that he uses. And I told him, I asked him to join us, but he was a little nervous because I think this was his first event and he's, you know, he hasn't really got his feet wet yet, but I told him next time. So I'm going to get him next time. He's going to be talking about how successful his vendor events are. But they did just a beautiful job. I mean, look at all these. And I love this sign too. No more black jars and smoky wicks are all over his signs. And that's the money shot to me. I love those when they're all lined up like that. So it's just some beautiful shots out there. And these are all out in the Bella Builder group, guys. They posted them all out there. So they're all out there. I just happened to put them all in this presentation. But so great. And thank you again, ladies. I know they're going to have questions. So I'm going to go to the chat now and see what we have here. I'm sure there are several. Let's see here. Well, I hope there are. I hope they have some questions. Let me go up to the very beginning here. All right. We have a lot of people saying hi. Let's see what we have here. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe it's just everyone saying hi. I don't know. But enter your questions, guys, if you have anything. We're happy to, if we can't get an answer for you, we'll get it for you later. Everyone's loving your training, ladies. Loving the ideas. Let's see, with all the black dots, Instagram. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Shelli. Yes. Big, huge thank you to them. They're like, where do you get the risers for the candles? Is one of the questions. Do you guys have a specific place that you got your risers?
Mine are actually cardboard. Mine are cardboard and they close up flat, and they're from, if I recall, GerschelBrothers.com. So it's GerschelBrothers.com, and I can share that later to make sure. And you get 4 of them. So all 4 that you saw they used to be like $20, and I got them like probably 10 years ago, and they have lasted me for 10 years. And you see all the candles that it's gone on. So I think they're like $25 now. So that's what I use. But I started out using all those. I love the ones with the wood, like the crates, the wood crates. That's where I get mine.
Oh, those are cute. Those are
Yeah,
cute.
I had my husband's friend, he's a woods work person. He built them for us. So they were a little bit more pricey than Shelly's. They were $100 each, stained and glossed and everything. And they're not heavy. I wanted to share with you guys a picture of, but I think I'll post it and let Kim approve it. It's a wagon it's longer than the regular collapsible wagons, and it works beautifully. It holds my shelves. It holds my tables in there vertically, the folded tables. It holds my chairs. So I only have to make about 2 trips for my tables and my shelves. And then with whatever boxes of candles I have, it can hold up to 6 of the 24 boxes, 24 quantity boxes. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool wagon, and it was only 130 on Amazon. I know that's a little pricey, but it's amazing because it saves a lot of trips with the smaller wagon and having to carry tables instead of just throwing it in the wagon. So it's pretty cool.
I need one of those.
Great
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, you
Yeah.
post that. I'll be sure to put that out there because I'm
Okay.
sure they'd be interested in that.
Yeah, that was the one picture.
And then they're asking, how do you label all the different things you sell, such as the soaps and melts?
You want to go first, Cecilia? Go for it.
Yeah, sure. I just buy the 8x10 plastic. You can get those at the Dollar Tree too. They hold the 8x10 photos or whatever you want to do, and I just print out, what the prices are. Kind of like the photo grids I showed you guys on our last training. I kind of just get a little creative with that, and I'll print it out, and I just stick it right in there, and I put it right next to the items. So
yeah, I do that too. But I'm not sure if you're asking that or how you keep track of what you sell. Because I don't know. I actually do keep track of what I sell. I'm not sure what you guys do, but I just have like a notepad and I write down everything I sell on that to keep track of it. I don't know if other people do that, but or if somebody wants a receipt, I give them a receipt. But otherwise, I do exactly what Cecilia does, and I just keep the plastic thing for the next vendor event. Excuse me.
Now, let's see what else they have. Oh, Mary, I need to start taking pictures of my setups. Yes, you do, Mary. So I want to share your pictures. Let's see. Someone's asking about the t-shirts, and I know Bob will probably be talking about this later, but I know he is working with a guy to try and set up a website where you guys can get Mia Bella t-shirts and things. And he didn't used to be so flexible about it, but he's pretty good about, as long as you're not selling them, if you want to use our logo and take it to somebody to have it printed on a shirt, he's okay with that, as long as you're not selling them. Because he doesn't want people selling his brand. But if you're doing it to brand yourself and brand your business and your events, he's perfectly fine with that. So I'm sure during the Bella Builder group, people can share where they've got their shirts and things from, because they've got a lot of unique shirts out there. Let's see. The t-shirts have all my signs too. Yep, asking about t-shirts. Let's see. Could add one thing. It would be to find out if you will be the only vendor selling candles. Oh, that's a good point. Jesse said, if you're going into an event, ask them if you have who your competitors are. Most events don't allow more than one candle company. I think if they're good vendors, they don't. But make sure you know that, because that can get a little touchy if you're right next to whether it's Scentsy or whoever. It's nice to know that you're the only one there. And it says if you aren't, I would position yourself at the very front of the entrance so people see you first and coming out. So that's a great suggestion, Jesse. And Jesse, I meant it. You're going to be next on one of these trainings. Wasn't kidding. And let's see, what are some complementary scents to burn together? I'm sure people have lots of ideas on that. And obviously strong ones to get their attention. And, in some places if you're inside, may not let you burn. So it's always nice to have a melt or simmer pot warmer there to put your melts in, because most people are fine with you doing that.
And Kim, even if you just have them uncovered, the aroma, you can still smell it. So if you can't burn at events, just taking the lids off it's great.
And then let's see, Don is asking about the labels for resale items, like your name and number on the bags and such. That's what her question was about the labels.
I just do regular file folder labels, and I just print them out from my home computer, and I put my website, my name, my contact phone number, and that's it. And I just stick it on. Like, I do my own Mia Melts bags just because they're smaller. I don't like to waste the Mia Bella bags that we buy because they're pretty big. So I just print out file folder labels. That's what I use.
Yeah, that's what
How
I
about
do.
you, Shelly?
The same
Yeah.
thing. Like, I just print them out, and then
Yeah.
but like when we get an order, I just pop the label on the bottom of the candle, like right when I get them in for my stock. But then I don't. I order the bags that are posted over on the Bell Builders page, where you can do it through Nashville Wraps. That's they're coming. I haven't actually gotten those yet. I have, but they were just the clear plastic. So my bag doesn't have it until I get the new ones in, but that's where I'm going on that. But I always throw in a catalog and a my business card as well.
Yeah.
And I know, and someone asked about getting branded bags, and I'm going to talk for Bob that he always says, I'm not in the bag business, I'm in the candle business. And he's really, with the quantities that you have to order to get it so that it's a price, he can't, it's unbelievable, the minimums that they require companies to order. So you really are, if you can get together with other distributors, and whether it's Nashville Wraps or whatever, to order bags together, that's probably going to be your best bet and your best value to get those branded bags for your events. And then Donna always asks, do you always take someone to help you out? I would hope if you have somebody, that's a smart thing, right, ladies? Have a helper.
Yeah, Shelly was saying, my husband goes to a lot of events. Unfortunately, he works every other weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there are times that I unload and load by myself. My daughter plays softball, so if she's off, she'll go with me, and my other daughter as well. It is tiring to load and unload, but I've gotten so used to it that it's pretty quick. Like, I know what I need to put up first, what needs to get done first, and it's a pretty quick setup. Hour max if I'm by myself. 30 to 45 minutes usually when my husband comes with me.
Yeah, I would agree. Same thing. It's a little bit more work, but you just build your muscles.
Yeah. Get your workout for the day.
Yeah.
And I know you guys too, we talked about making sure they have like a little toolbox of things with tape, scissors, pens, things like that too, so that they're prepared. Some cash, always have some cash and change for people that do that. What else did we talk about? Lighters up. Yep. I've done that. Forgot those before.
I did too. I was like, oh, I can't light the candle. The candle lady without the lighter. I was walking around trying to find one.
I also bought these cool from Amazon, these cool little bungee cords that I use for, they're great for your banners. I used to use these reusable zip ties that you can actually reuse them. You don't have to cut them off, but they get weak after a while. So we found these bungee cords, and I'll share that picture with you too, Kim. But they're so, they're just very durable, and they're so easy to put on. It's almost like a hair tie. It's pretty cool. And there's like a bag of 50. I can't remember the price, but they're really good.
Oh, that's a good.
And we use those.
Yeah, those work really well.
Yeah, we use those to put our lights around our canopy too, and it's really quick, easy, put it up and take down.
And I know during our rehearsals too, you guys mentioned something about make sure that you're out in front of your booth. Don't be sitting back there on your phone. That was another tip that you guys were talking about too, to make sure that you're approachable. And because if your nose is in your phone, people might just walk right past you. So make sure that you're engaged at your events too. And someone asked about, sure, go ahead, Shelly.
One of the things too with that, and I didn't, sorry to cut you off there, but I think what's important is a lot of times when you're think of you as a customer walking by, you kind of can read people's body language. So if you're out front, it's just like, you say, hi, welcome. And sometimes they're walking by, but you just talking to them about whatever the weather or whatever event you're at, then they like kind of come right back in. And then because now you just, made that contact with them, and then they're now at your booth. They may not have wanted candles thinking, but now all of a sudden they walked away with 3 candles.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's just, just being, again, sharing, but
Yes.
being out there, not sitting behind, because sometimes you go to an event and you're like, where's the person working?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When I
true.
love too, we talked about too, that a way that they have to look at these events too is, it's more about the opportunity and the contacts and the future growth of either your team or customer base too, or future events. So, you can't go into it with the mindset that you're going to take, 100 candles and you're going to sell them all, because it's probably not going to happen. But it is more about making the contacts and growing your business that way. Is that really what you guys have found?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you
Yep.
just like, when I
And
go to an event, I always say, if I sell one is better than none. That's a customer I gained that I didn't have before.
yep,
I always go with that positive attitude. It's nice if I sell 5 or more, then I feel like, wow, at least I might have made my vendor feedback. But I always say, and me and my husband, my daughters always say that one is better than none. We always say that when, and then every time I walk in the door, they're like, how did you do, Mom? So it's fun. It's our little inside joke. But yeah, always just go, especially if you're going to start doing vendor events. It's a hit and miss everywhere. The host, sometimes they aren't very honest on if they're going to have duplicate vendors. So you just have to be prepared for that. And just know, I always keep a folder of all the events I attend, what I did and did not like about the event, whether it be the floor had a lot of loose dirt, there was porta potties, anything that you can think. There wasn't a lot of foot traffic, or there was a lot of foot traffic, but they weren't there to buy candles today. So I think I'm going to try it one more time. So make all those notes of each event that you're going to enter in, how much you paid. A lot of hosts, and not to badmouth anybody, but because I've been to so many events, a lot of times they're just in for the money, the income. Some hosts are very humble and they're doing it for other reasons and they don't charge as much. So try to find your guys' spots. That's what I recommend, is find your spots, find your vendor family that you feel comfortable with. Everybody has a great attitude. They have fun. That's where you want to go, because then it just changes your whole personality too. It's more of a, you know what? I didn't sell that many, but I want to go back. I had so much fun. That's kind of how I do it. So just a little tip on if you start wanting to get involved at a lot of vendor events.
Yep. And I have a couple more questions here. I'm looking to see, are the Amazon lights chargeable or need electricity? Those you said are the USB charger, right? Still, those lights?
They are not chargeable. It's a USB plug-in. So you need a battery pack, and that's how they work. And the bulbs are
that's right.
plastic, so they're not glass or anything.
And it's Liliana said she handed out a business card with her little sample fragrance on it too. And a lot of people came right back around to smell. So that's always good to have the samples. And I do see the question, when are we getting our 100 count melts available? I know I looked today and there were sweet orange and chili pepper on there. So they're slowly trying to put them on as they get them. But Mike has been out sick for 2 days, which means that production is very slowed down right now because he's our production guy. So we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow, but they're doing everything they can to get those samples out to you, because I know they're huge at these events. I love Jesse said to hold peace, love, and watermelon, and ask the kids if they want to smell a Jolly Rancher candle. They love it, and then the parents have to buy it. I love that one.
That's what I always say too.
And then do you take credit cards at your events? And if so, what are you using?
I use a Square, and I take debit and credit.
Square, okay. Is that what you use, Shelli?
I use the Square as well, but when they do ask if they can use a card, I ask them, I try to gear them over to Venmo or Zelle or Cash App, any of those free ones before, but then I will take the card if that's all they have.
All right. A lot of good
One more
questions.
thing too, Kim, I wanted to say really fast was, when people are walking by and they're kind of looking and you have a feeling they're not going to come in, I always tell them, come on in and go smell all the candles you like. There's hand sanitizer at the end of the tables. No pressure. Just go ahead and take a whiff at all the candles, and they come and they end up buying one. Like, no pressure
I love
to
that.
buy
I love that.
anything.
Stick your. What do you guys put out there? Stick your nose in my business.
Yeah.
I love that saying that you guys on little signs out there.
Mhm. Yeah. So it works, guys. It really does. And then you can tell if there's certain people who just don't have that personality, they'll just keep walking, and that's fine too.
They're lost.
Yes.
Right. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for this. I hope I learned a lot just with working you through this training. So I hope that everybody learned a lot and took something, at least one thing from it. I know they had to have. But again, we recorded this, so I'll get this out into the Bella Builder group as soon as possible and get it out in the email with the link too. And I'm trying to see if I'm going to do something really quick to see if I can actually show you, because people are always asking, where do you find my videos? And I'm trying to see if I even have it up. I don't think I can find it. But if you guys, I actually have, and if you just search, through YouTube, just Kim Geringer, I have a YouTube channel that has every single video that we have recorded. So literally from last May, because I've been out here almost a year. So from last May, you can find any video that we've done there. If you're having problems, I try and put everything in the Bella Builder group and under videos and things, but that is one place that you can go there, and there's over 30 videos there that you can just go and search the one that you want. So just wanted you guys to know that, because I know we might have a training too on more information on the Bella Builder group, but guys, make sure, send me an email if there's training that you're looking for, because that's how this training came about. People reached out to me and said, hey, do you think we can do some sales training to help us out? Because we want to be doing what they're doing. And so Shelli and Cecilia were kind enough to agree to my crazy invitation. So I appreciate that. And they're always so willing to do it. And I appreciate that, because I know your time is very valuable. So I appreciate what a great job you did and the time that you put into it. And for everybody for joining us tonight, because I know it's getting really late on the East Coast. So, but thanks again to everybody. And we'll be talking to you tomorrow. Join us tomorrow live, noon Arizona time, 3 p.m. to find out what that May fragrance of the month is. So that's going to be a fun one. So thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all really soon.